Esta música não me sai da cabeça.
Very few people know this, but the first person to record a rock and roll album in Portugal was a woman. In 1960, Zorita de Oliveira recorded O Bonitão do Rock. Now, with this documentary, Who's Afraid of Zorita de Oliveira, Francisca Marval traces her journey. A difficult task because there are very few images of her. The filmmaker drew on various testimonies and reenactments with actors.
Mas à minha maneira, porque eu detesto imitações.
Diz que é pioneira do rock, mas foi uma música, letrista, dramaturga, intérprete, e foi uma mulher que nos anos 60 teve a ousadia de fazer grandes solos de guitarra elétrica num grande palco para um grande público.
For the film, the director had several all-female artists and bands reinterpret various songs by Zorita de Oliveira, some of which had never been released before.
O filme não teve muitos recursos, nós simplesmente desafiávamos, ficávamos à espera que as pessoas dissessem que sim, e depois, como é que eu hei de dizer isto? É um processo punk rock.
Conseguimos dar vida a letras que estavam esquecidas, que nunca foram interpretadas pela Zorita, nunca foram gravadas, e ouvir o que cada uma artista fez, dar voz, acho que consegui até sentir mais e identificar mais com a causa da Zorita e o que é que ela quereria dizer.
E agora, senhoras e senhores, a grande artista da rádio e da televisão e do espetáculo, Zorita de Oliveira. Bem, aquilo... as salas quase que uma abaixo.
The documentary had its world premiere at this year's Indie Lisboa Film Festival, which concluded on the 10th of May.
The Urban Art Biennale 2026 is really an international show. We have 50 artists from 17 countries, from 3 continents, and it's really showing street art, graffiti, urban art at its best. We have the car-like installations like this behind me, which are sort of monumental fossil mobility, which is covered from a Pompeii-like dust cover, or we have the huge roof of Amparito, the writing on the roof of the Möllerhalle, which is really the biggest work in the show.
I think that it's so dusty and it's so old, but it's beautiful. You know, there's beauty in decay, and I think what I've done makes you kind of just perceive it in a bit of a different way.
It's like a nice place, people walking around, there are bees, there are beautiful flowers, but yeah, we still remember the history, and that's super important.
A small green piece of paper. Whoever received it was told to report to a gymnasium to clarify their residency status. But what followed changed the lives of thousands of people forever. On the 14th of May, 1941 in Paris, on orders from the SS and the Gestapo, the French police arrested around 3,800 Jewish men and later deported them to camps. Today, an exhibition at the French Embassy in Berlin commemorates this first major roundup of Jews in occupied France and for the first time showed the faces of the victims.
Toutes ont un sens et surtout, elles sont notre mémoire et peut-être notre futur. Ça, c'est une preuve irrévocable de ce qui s'est passé. J'avais 6 ans, j'ai vu mon père pour l'avant-dernière fois et je suis très heureuse d'être encore d'un certain âge et de pouvoir parler de ce qui s'est passé.
98 photographs. For decades, they were considered lost, but in 2020, they were rediscovered. The man behind the camera, Harry Kroner, a Berlin photographer who through his father is himself of Jewish descent. Ironically, he was assigned by a member of the SS and the head of the Gestapo's Jewish Affairs unit to document the raid. But Kroner did not photograph the men as an anonymous mass, but as human beings with faces and dignity.
Was wir als Claims-Konferenz möchten, ist zu sagen, dass die Erinnerung ein ganz wesentlicher Bestandteil ist für das heutige soziale, gesellschaftliche Leben. Und was wir hier heute sehen, sind Beginne, die es auch damals gegeben hat. Und deswegen möchten wir sagen, dass die Erinnerung nicht etwas ist, was nur in der Vergangenheit ist, sondern uns auch heute konkret betrifft.
The project aims to connect and strengthen European remembrance efforts. Liliane Reisfeld regularly speaks with students about her story. This gives the 91-year-old hope for a peaceful future for coming generations.
80 ans après, je me suis souvenu de la robe que je portais, petite fille, quand j'ai accompagné mon père et ma mère à la police. Et c'est étrange parce que pendant des années, je n'ai jamais pensé à ce vêtement. Et j'ai eu un flash un jour. J'avais une robe bleue avec des smocks et des fantaisies sur une robe. Et ce souvenir m'est revenu 80 ans ou 85 ans après.
The exhibition, titled Faces of Memory, is on display at the French Embassy in Berlin until the 9th of July. Portuguese people are among the Europeans most eager to travel in 2026, according to Europe Assistance Annual Summer Vacation Barometer. Despite the unstable geopolitical climate, there are still those who choose to travel abroad.
Estou a planear ir de férias para Cabo Verde, que é a minha terra natal. Eu acho que esta guerra tem influência em bastantes coisas, principalmente no preço dos bilhetes, que ficou exorbitante.
However, the Portuguese show a greater preference for traveling within the country, especially to the beaches of Algarve, with a slight decrease in international travel. The war in the Middle East seems to have dampened some travelers' interest in going abroad, mainly due to financial constraints and increased safety concerns.
Planeio de férias e, portanto, já tenho marcado as férias para o Algarve, portanto, para Portugal, porque penso que agora é um pouco complicado ir para fora. Os combustíveis contextualizam a economia neste momento e, portanto, face à situação que se avizinha nos próximos tempos, também mantemos as férias cá em Portugal para evitar o menos custos possíveis.
Condiciona um bocadinho, não pensava ir a uma viagem rápida, mas já não vou, tenho medo. Não. E além disso também estão muito caras as viagens e os alojamentos, tudo.
Não é a altura, eu acho que nós estamos a atravessar uma fase de... Pronto, há o conflito, não é? Pronto, mundial, há as guerras, e isso sobe os preços, o custo de vida está muito mais alto, as coisas custam muito mais. E por isso mais difícil é fazer férias.
Inflation remains the main reason holding people back when making plans. Portugal is the European country where this fear is most pronounced, and it's also the European country where high prices have the greatest impact on the budgets set aside for leisure.
After months of turbulence across regional airspace, Qatar's tourism sector says the country is open for business once again. Speaking to Euronews, Visit Qatar's CEO says the country went through one of its most difficult periods in recent history, but worked closely with embassies, airlines, and tourism partners to support stranded travelers and restore confidence in a destination that welcomed 5 million visitors last year. Tourism officials say more than 12,000 international visitors and transit passengers were impacted during the regional crisis earlier this year. A 24-hour hotline was launched alongside WhatsApp updates and social media alerts as authorities coordinated repatriation efforts through Hamad International Airport.
We've been through a difficult time. I'll be very honest with you. It was a difficult time that we had never been through before. But I always remind myself of the period of COVID where we passed it through a difficult time, but we passed it stronger than before, more resilience. We announced visa extension as well as the free stay in the hotels with free meals for all of our travelers and guests by that time, because we want to always ensure that our guests are a guest in our home.
Now, Qatar is pushing ahead with a tourism recovery campaign centered around summer festivals, beach activities, and family entertainment, before shifting focus towards international visitors later in the year. Abdulaziz Al-Molawi says the country is hoping its mix of luxury tourism, cultural experiences, and major international events will help drive momentum into a busy winter season.
Qatar is back to normal, and we can always reassure that Qatar is always safe and secure. Qatar has been always known for the unique products where we bring together culture, heritage, as well as the modernity. You can enjoy diving with the whale shark, as well as going to the safari, having a fine dining, shopping experience, hotel experience, beachfront, all at the same day. We always say that Qatar is the home of our guests from all over the world.
Visit Qatar says it will continue investing in digital visitor experiences, business travel, and international events as it looks to strengthen its position as one of the region's leading tourism destinations. Adil Halim, Euronews, Doha.